What's up, guys? This is Jakob. I'm content manager and I'm helping small and medium enterprises with their content strategy. In my show, the Content AI Show, I'm speaking about AI tools you should use for your content creation in order to scale your business, to save money, and also save time. Today, my guest is Irene Chan. Welcome, Irene. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, I'm doing great. So I'm from the Philippines. It's 4:28 p.m. and it's been a crazy afternoon. So first of all, I'm so sorry that I'm late. I know how important it is to show up on time for your live stream. So that's kind of my main role, which is crazy that yeah. So that's the
Yeah,
first thing.
yes, in the Philippines, there's a lot of going on right now, right? So you're traveling more now because COVID is decreasing, the numbers are decreasing, or what is going on?
Yeah, so the reason why I actually went out, I never go out, but for the past 3 weeks we've been locked down. So we never had a break with the kids 24/7. Um, but then my in-laws came today, and my husband and I said, "Okay, let's go to the grocery store. It's our chance to go out without the kids because kids are not allowed in public." But then for some reason it became very traffic on the way home, and we are less than 2 kilometers from the shopping area. So anyway, yeah, they are kind of easing down on the restriction after 3 weeks, but still you can't
Yeah,
go into the restaurants and eat. Only takeout and delivery. So it's still very very strict. And I think the cases are actually increasing, especially with the new variant. So how about you?
mm.
How is it going from your end of the world,
Yeah.
from your
In
side of the
Germany,
world?
yes, the numbers are increasing again, but there are more and more people vacant. So yeah, but the new variant is also a little bit is also increasing. But the thing in Germany is next month there are elections, so yeah, politicians they are giving now the
Mm,
freedom that you can travel, that you can also go into restaurants, so you can do a lot of things. But at the same time, the numbers are increasing, so I guess there will yeah. It doesn't look that good, so the numbers will increase soon, and yeah, but I hope the opposite. So, but basically, as a parent, I mean, we have also two sons. It's a lot harder, in my opinion. If you're single and living alone, I
mm.
think you have more room for maneuver and also take off time. But with kids, it's always a little more struggling, I think, in these days. Yeah. But good luck with all the things that are
Yeah,
happening right
especially
now.
those parents. Yeah, thank you. Especially, I actually have my heart for those parents that had to transition from traditional school to online school, because I think that's crazy. I'm lucky because we haven't started school yet officially. I have 1 and 3. Like my kids is 3 and then 1. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Great. So I can you basically introduce yourself? So what are you doing? You are also a content creator. So I'm always asking how should I introduce you in my show, and you basically wrote content creator for tech startups, which is I mean you are doing in my opinion more things because I recognized you from a blog article that you wrote where you shared AI tools that are interesting for content creators. So that's the reason why I recognized you. But can you introduce yourself?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to introduce myself. So, hi everyone. My name is Irene Chan. Again, thank you so much for having me. It's always great to be able to talk about content, especially for tech startups. So, I am actually a live video strategist. That's kind of my main mojo. That's what I love. that's what I. That's what I've been doing for the past 4 years officially. When I started live streaming in 2016, I never thought it was kind of like it will turn into a career. So, because when they released Facebook Live, it was just something that I do for fun. And at that time, I was living in Israel. So everything to me was like interesting. And I would go live, hey, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing. Eventually, I got hired by BeLive, live streaming platform, to basically help them with content. I initially built the community. Now I'm a full time freelance content creator specializing in live video and like 2 months ago, or no, May of 2021. So kind of like made of that transition. I guess a lot of like reflection since the pandemic started. So I made those kind of changes. So yeah, that's basically, I guess, in a nutshell. But I've been working remotely for 11 years now. So I kind of like a very long story, but in a nutshell, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah. What role does AI play within the things that you do? So how important is AI, and what was the one of the first memories that you have when it comes to AI as a content creator?
Yeah, so I've been doing a SEO writing. So that was kind of my first job. I transitioned from working in a call center. I was a call center agent. And then I said, no, this is not what I wanted to do. I want to write. That's actually, that's always been my dream. So at that time, the most popular type of writing was SEO writing. At that time, it wasn't technically AI, but there's like tons of tools that will allow you to rewrite one article to 10 times. So that's kind of like how you ranked with Google like 10 or 11 years ago. So that's kind of like my first exposure into using tools to automate some of the process for content creation. So nowadays there are actually tons, especially Jarvis. I think Jarvis is like the most popular content creation tool. I'm still learning how to do it because one of the things that I kind of training myself is I have to learn how to use AI for content creation, because I guess there are two camps of people. Like there are people that, is it still content creation if AI created it? But I think we need content creators to be able to control the AI, and they need to work together. So that's where I am right now. I still have a lot to learn in terms of using AI for a lot of the content creation steps. But right now, even like for live streaming, like right now, I'm using StreamYard, and for my clients, I also some use StreamYard, but for my own live stream, I use BeLive, and some of it also has an AI element wherein I turn on like a comment assistant, and then it will pick the best comments to show. So in that way, some part of the live video production is actually automated, and then AI decides for you which comments are good to show and which are not. So I guess that's kind of like where I am right now and where I started.
Yeah, awesome. So you're basically using two tools. So Jarvis is more focused on text production. This is an AI tool that can create copy, for example, or write SEO-based articles. And the other one was more focusing on live streaming, right?
Yes, that's
the
correct.
AI tool. Okay, AI tool is more helping you with the video content. That's very smart. Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, awesome. So, do you have a team, or how do you work? You already said that you work remotely. Is there a team that helps you and VA? I mean, the topic of VA always goes back to the Philippines when you hire somebody. So my colleagues from the US or from Australia, they are cheering on Philippine VAs. So do you have also a VA in the Philippines, or how does it work?
I'm so glad that you asked that, because I actually hire VAs, so virtual assistants, for solopreneurs and tech startups in Israel, US, and Asia, and recently Australia. So for me, I work basically, I have a one-man team. But for hiring people, I have my husband who helps me. But basically, for all the content creation that I have me and the tools that I use. So hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to, scale that. But I kind of a control freak when it comes to content creation, because I tried before. I had an agency before wherein I had like a team of content creators, but I feel like I'm much happier if I have less clients, but I have more creative control. So currently, that's where I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So, do you think there are any misunderstandings when it comes to AI? So there's a lot going on, but I would love to hear your opinion on this topic. So misunderstandings when it comes to AI that you would love to tackle, so that you say, well, this is not very accurate. We should change this thinking in the minds of the people. Is there something?
Yeah, of course. I think maybe, and this is something that you probably already discussed with before with other content creators. It's just like the AI will rise against us, which is fitting because like Musk recently had this presentation, like the humanoid robot. So I love. Wait, you can't see it, but I have a collection of like droids and robots here.
Star Wars
So
fan.
yeah, so I love AI. I love robots, and I think one of the every time some kind of AI automation becomes news, I see all the time in the comments that we will be out of jobs. So, and I think that's kind of like a misconception, especially for content creators. I don't think will run out of jobs because of AI. I think we actually need to work with AI, as I was talking before, because you still need someone. You need the building blocks for the AI to do its job. So, like Jarvis won't magically, it is sort of magic with the technology, but still, you need to be able to harness the technology so that it I can't remember the name right now, but I'm currently working with a client where he is trying to automate and use an AI for the newsletter so that every type of email that is sent is customized based on what he or she clicks in the previous newsletter. So in order for you to have a better for the AI to better showcase the content within the newsletter, you need to be able to choose the right websites to pull the content from. So in that way, there's still some, of course, there's still creative thinking from the actual human, and AI is just another tool. Like previously, we had Facebook as a tool for content creators and for businesses to reach people, and it has its pros and cons. And I think it's the same with AI. It's another technology that we can use for content creation, and it's up to us on how we're going to use it.
Yeah, definitely. So I would totally agree to this point. So I don't think that AI will replace my job. This is just when it comes to content creation, there's so many moving parts, and it's not possible that yet an AI
Mm.
could all do these things, but where they are very specialized and on one specific area where they can help me to save time and make the clients happy. That's basically how I also see it. And yeah, would totally agree to that point. And also one thing that I hear a lot, yes, that we will be replaced, but I don't either believe it. So yeah,
Yeah, I
thanks for
guess some
sharing.
processes. Thank you. Yeah, I'm like very passionate talking about that, and I think some processes will be replaced. Like you said, there's so many moving parts, and I'm not sure if you watched the movie Her. It's one of my favorite films as well, and in that, it's like kind of like the one of the um, realistic AI films wherein you can basically talk to the AI and then they learn everything. But still, his job is actually writing letters to people. So you still kind of need a human element because you need the emotions and how people react to other people, and you need to incorporate that into your writing so it still reads human and very personalized. So yeah, I'm kind of like geeking out a bit about films now, but if you haven't watched Her, you should watch it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I will put it on my list. Thank you. Cool. When it comes to trends, because you're also in the content niche, so what kind of trends do you see when it comes to AI? So when it comes to technology or tools that are used, what would you suggest will happen on the long term, midterm level?
Yeah, I think content creation. So I think a lot of the content creation could be like automated and could be taken care of AI because there's tons of data about what we consume, what we click, and in that sense, like I mentioned earlier, for the newsletter, it kind of can create a customized newsletter for each because of or your past data. So I think in a lot of ways that could be the current trend, and also that could be long term. And there's another thing that I keep seeing on LinkedIn. It's a personalized video. So every time someone sees the video, let's say it's a t-shirt printing company, they can actually change the name of the, so like it would say Irene, happy birthday Irene on the video itself. So it kind of like happens real time. I still have to learn like how they do it, but I've seen the sample of the products and it's amazing. So once you click the video, as long as you're logged in on LinkedIn, then it will show the personalization such as your name. So curation and personalization in terms of like video content, I think that's kind of like the current trend, and I think it's gonna keep I think it's going to be happening long term as well as we develop the technology and more people adapt it.
Okay, it's cool that you mentioned this because this week I had a conversation with somebody who runs also an agency, Many Mongoose, it's their name, and they're basically doing this. They're not in video, but as so to say, as a message. And for example, they say, "Do you want a coffee break, a virtual coffee break?" And then they have two coffee cups in their hands, and on one there's your face, and on the other is the face of the person that you contact. And
Wow.
this tool is using the profile picture on LinkedIn and putting it on the coffee cup, and that's basically how they reach out. And you can scale this so that you don't have one message, you have hundreds of messages. So this is exactly, but on video it's even cooler, I think. Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's really cool. When I first tried it out, and I think it's still in the very early stages, but I think it's going to catch on.
So you created this video message yourself or an agency?
No, I'm gonna check. I forgot her name, but she reached out to me, and then because I was working at BeLive at the time as a marketing manager, so I thought she reached out to me for like a potential collaboration. I have to double check the specific details, but I said, "Can you send me an example?" So she video, and when I watched the video, it has my name on it. So like the shirt has my name on it as it plays the video. So yeah, it's not my technology. It's I will link to her. I will promise I will find her LinkedIn profile with the video, because I think she's been sharing the sample links as well of how it works.
Cool. Sounds interesting. Sounds like a new guest for my show.
Yes, cool. I'm definitely happy to connect you.
Yeah, that's cool. So yes, that's very interesting. Can you? Okay, I mean, this is also another question that I'm asking. So, are there people that you could recommend for this show? So, within the AI space, this is something that I'm always asking at the end of my show. So, people who are also content creators or who are on the AI business, who are creating products or services, or I'm also reaching out to investors who are investing in AI technology. Are there people who come into your mind who could be interested in this show?
Yeah, of course. The first person that comes to mind, and I'm gonna tag her as well. We're live on LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so I'm gonna tag her as well. Both, I think the video personalization company, the founder's name is Bonnie, so I'll tag her. And I'm not sure if you know Molly Mahoney. So I've been working with her, I think, for the past 4 years. She's like a big AI fan. She's also a content creator. She's an online coach. She helps six-figure businesses. And she's a big fan of Jarvis. I think she's an ambassador for Jarvis. To mine, but I'm sure happy to introduce you. That's one of the cool things about working remotely. You can connect anyone from anyone in the world, and people get together and talk about their passion.
Yeah, that's great. That would be really great to have an intro. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome.
So what are your plans for the next couple of years? So on a midterm level, so where will your business be in 2-3 years?
Wow, that's such a great question, but also I guess very hard to answer because first, in the COVID world right now, I feel like everything is unstable. So even just in your personal life, because 2-3 weeks ago we were supposed to be on vacation, but then the lockdown happened and everything was canceled. So anyway, so I feel like there's a lot of like being everything is unstable. So I would love to be able to plan for the next 2 to 3 years, but for now, I guess my focus is for the next quarter. My focus is to help build, um, basically connect startups with content creators in the Philippines, because in the past 11 years I've built a network of amazing content creators, and I love helping people find jobs, their dream jobs, and I love helping startups and solopreneurs find the right person to scale their business. So I guess that's going to be my main focus, kind of scaling down a bit in that process, finding people, hiring people, and then connecting them with the right startups. Because in the startup world also, the attrition rate is kind of fast, because some, like for me, I've worked with tons of startups. You'd be lucky if a startup actually lasts 2 years. So, and then after 2 years, a lot of people are out of jobs because the startup ended. Like that's me. But then if what I've been doing for the past few years, if my friends kind of lost their jobs because a startup ended, then I reintroduce them to my other startup friends who are looking for content creators. So that's kind of my main goal right now. If I could help more people find the right content creator jobs, and then help startups to scale that, from people with from the Philippines, yeah, that's kind of like my main goal. Ideally, just for this year, and hopefully I'll be able to scale that in a way, in the next 2 to 3 years. I don't know, if, like creating courses for people that need to score great marketing jobs, because I know from the Philippines there are tons of people that lost their jobs because of a lot of closure of the companies, and people are kind of learning how to work remotely. So for me, I've been doing it for 11 years, so everything is like easy, but for a lot of people, even just getting in a Zoom call is hard for them. So I hope to be able to scale my content so that I could reach more people and help more people have a great remote job.
When it comes to the tech startups that you mentioned, is there a specific vertical are these companies software companies, software as a solution companies, or okay? And
Yeah, it's
okay,
definitely SaaS, but I also had experience working with hardware startups, but mostly SaaS.
okay, interesting. Well, because SaaS is a very exciting niche, in my
Yes.
opinion. Yeah, and there's a big SaaS community within the Philippines.
I guess actually there's a big community that I'm part of called Startup PH. I think maybe 30,000. I've been there for 5 years. I'm not sure if there's like a specific for SaaS, but I have to find out. One group that I am part of, maybe you are too, is SaaS Growth Hacks, and that's my favorite SaaS startup group.
Cool.
So it's great. Yeah, it's great for connecting with other SaaS founders, other SaaS content creators. Great for feedback too, if you're looking for feedback for your product.
Yeah, yeah. So this group is on LinkedIn, or where is it?
Oh, it's on Facebook. I'll also
On
link
Facebook.
that on the. Yeah, it's a Facebook group.
Yeah, cool. Okay, exciting. So, is there something last thing that you would love to share when it comes to content, when it comes to AI? Some last statement that you want to share?
No, I guess just keep on learning. If there are new tools for content creation, keep an open mind, try it out, and see how it works for you.
Yeah, great advice. Yes. Where can so the last thing? Yeah, where can people find out more about you if they want to get more insights or want to work with you?
Yeah, you can find all of my history and my examples of my work at irenechan.work. So I'll also link that. But I'm also on LinkedIn. Jakub and I actually connected via LinkedIn, so I'm
Yes.
very active there, sharing case studies and content. Feel free to private message me if you have any questions about live video or hiring people from the Philippines.
Awesome. Okay, Irene, really thank you for your time. Really appreciate it, and I hope I'm very sure there was valuable things that we shared, and from your story and from the tools that you use already in the past. Yeah, thank you very much, and hopefully see you soon again. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.